What's up everybody, my name's Andy and welcome to Kit Guru. So, do you need a new gaming mouse? Do you want reliability in a tried and tested design, great performance, RGB, all whilst keeping the costs as low as possible? Well then you might want to stick around, as this may possibly be the best budget-friendly mouse of 2020. Today we're checking out the brand new but not so new Logitech G203 LIGHTSYNC gaming mouse. It has an RRP of $34.99 and is available from May 2020. Hang on a second, how can it be brand new but not so new? Well, the G203 LIGHTSYNC is a brand new release from Logitech, but it does carry over many things from previous Logitech mice that were popular for those models. So the G203 LIGHTSYNC reminds us of the original G100S, whilst keeping the original design previously seen in the other G203 models, and even similar to the wireless G305 as well. So we pretty much have an identical mouse to the G203 Prodigy that released a few years ago. There's literally just one change that has been made here, and because of this I say it's not really a new mouse at all. Instead I see it as more of a refresh for 2020. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, as the previous mice were very well received if you didn't know of them already. So let's jump into the review. The packaging couldn't be any more basic. It's literally just a thin cardboard box and a sticker with the mouse inside. The cable is tied up too, and I was actually impressed to see a really nice rubber finish on the cable with absolutely no kinks in sight. It's a fairly thin cable, but it really does feel quite premium. It's not a horribly tacky rubber that you find on some mice, and it's really lightweight and it's very pliable. But my favorite part of the cable is the fact that it's 2.1 meters in length. So over 2 meters makes me incredibly happy, as I always find cables are too short. So for my desk setup, I've got a custom built desk that I built myself, and I actually have a hole cut for cable management. I put mice cables down there and then sort of route them underneath the desk to the back of the PC, and it's not a very short distance, so I always find it's a bit of an issue. However, for the G203 LIGHTSYNC, it was a breeze, and also having that rubber there meant I had no snags on the desk either. So this was excellent, as my daily driver has a braided fabric cable and it snags all the time, so much so that I actually use a wireless mouse just for FPS gaming. But I had no issues at all with the LIGHTSYNC in those terms. But I will add that this mouse is wired only and the cable cannot be removed. So let's check out the design of the mouse. There's got to be a reason so many previous models had the exact same body in the past, right? Well, at first look, it's nothing that really grabs your attention. It's super minimalistic. It's a very simple design that could easily pass as a workspace mouse. It's a completely plastic design. It is symmetrical despite being right-handed only. And also, even though it's got a low price point, the plastic actually looks and feels quite high quality, and there's no sharp edges in sight too. On the left hand side we have two very clicky small forward and back buttons, and again these feel really premium, and they have a super tactile and smooth rubber finish over them. I found no matter how I held the mouse, I didn't accidentally press them, which is a bonus for me because I always have a bit of a gripe with forward and back buttons on most mice, but you know, it wasn't really an issue here. On the right hand side we've got nothing at all, just that smooth plastic. But despite my preference of rubber grips, I found the lack of any grip material or texture didn't actually bother me at all, because it's fairly lightweight too. So the mouse is 85 grams, excluding the cable, so you know, no grips wasn't really an issue. We have two gloss accents around the scroll wheel, one in front and one behind, surrounding that DPI profile button, which is also a plastic finish. The scroll wheel design is excellent. It's wider than most mice. It has a rubber finish with a super grippy design, and I found it to be like surprisingly nice to use, especially while scrolling through web pages and, you know, just doing other mundane tasks. The left and right buttons are separate from the main shell. They're super clicky and work via a metal spring, so each button is primed to click. Logitech market it as having exceptional click feel, response and consistency, and I'd have to actually agree with them there. The only thing I can't say for sure is how long these will last or what their life expectancy is, because there's no information on that. On the base we have an even more minimalistic design with just 4 small PTFE glide pads at the top and the bottom, with another one surrounding the sensor in the middle. Towards the bottom, we have an inverted triangle with some information, but overall, it's actually quite a clean layout. So I've saved this bit for last. You know, it's kind of named the LightSync after all. We do have 2 RGB zones on the mouse. We have the Logitech G logo on the back and a large zone that follows the curves of the mouse down and around the base. Now these zones can be changed via the software, which we'll look at later, whilst offering various brightness levels, effects, and up to 16.8 million colors. So yeah, it's a super simple design, probably the simplest looking mouse I've ever seen, bar of course that RGB, but I can't actually help but like it. The fairly low profile of the sloped main shell makes using this mouse super comfortable in any grip style, but I would say if you have huge hands, it may be a bit of an issue. I have medium-sized hands, and for me, it's absolutely fine. The fairly narrow width does make your pinky jump out when using claw or fingertip grip, and palm grip also makes your pinky drag a little bit, but weirdly, this didn't bother me too much. Design-wise and even aesthetically, it does get my approval. It's basic, but does still look the part with those RGB zones, and more importantly, it is very comfortable. You'll have to remember that this is a very affordable gaming mouse. So how does its specs hold up? Well, at this price point, I'm really not expecting much at all, to be honest, but with a modest and usable DPI of up to 8,000, with also having a 1000 Hz polling rate, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. To put the sprung left and right buttons and sensor to the test, I loaded up Call of Duty Modern Warfare to see how it held up. Once again, I was really surprised at its performance. It was super responsive and every click counted. I wasn't fearing misclicks or delays, and also being fairly lightweight whilst using a mixture of my preferred grip style of claw grip or fingertip grip with a low DPI setting, it was really, really good. I totally forgot that I was using a budget mouse at all, especially considering the mouse I'd usually use is literally 4 times the price. One thing it didn't do though is improve my skills. So software-wise, you will need to download the latest version of G Hub from Logitech's website. Make sure to install it and check for updates. Now, once that's done, you can see the G203 LIGHTSYNC in the middle. Click on that and it will open up 3 tabs along the left-hand side. The first tab is the LIGHTSYNC, and this is the main feature that sets this version apart from, you know, the other ones. There are some basic options you can change, but it's nice that you can have some options at all here considering the price point. Now here we have the preset tab that lets you change the effects from off, fixed, cycle, breathing, color wave, screen sampler, and audio visualizer, and you can change rate and brightness as well. Next is freestyle, and this lets you just adjust those zones individually, and you can also go to the animations tab to choose from 3 presets or create your own. This is great for the price point, as you can really get stuck in and match your RGB items up, or, you know, to the rest of your theme that you might have in your room. The next tab on the left is assignments, and this lets you remap buttons, actions, settings, macros to the 6 available buttons. What I really liked is under the actions tab, there's app integration for Overwolf, Discord, and even OBS. I definitely wasn't expecting this. Lastly, we have the DPI tab for selecting your sensitivity, but there is more to it. You can also program a DPI shift speed that can be assigned to any button of your choice. So if you have your mouse set to say 1800 DPI, you can then press a button and have it drop straight down to 400 whilst you're holding that button. Underneath you have your polling rate settings as well. The software looks clean and it is very intuitive. It worked perfectly for me and everything's set instantly without any wait times, you know, to apply those settings. It's simple, very effective, and again, for the price point, there's plenty of options to get stuck into. Throughout testing, I've been trying my hardest to find faults with the G203 LIGHTSYNC, but there really isn't any. It's more of a preference thing. Some may not like the rubber cord, lack of textured grips, or the lightweight feel, but for me, I had no issue. It's a fairly small mouse, so I did get a bit of pinky drag, which could be seen as a con, but it didn't affect my gameplay at all. However, people with large hands may find it worse, and also the sprung left and right buttons could degrade fairly quickly over time, but I can't be 100% certain of that. For the price point of £35, I really do think that you'll be hard pushed to find a gaming mouse as well built and as comfortable that performs as well as the G203 LIGHTSYNC with that RGB customization. However, if you're not too fussed about that much RGB customization, then you might want to check out the G203 Prodigy, as it's pretty much identical in every way. It's just got less RGB options, and that one's currently on sale $29.99. So what do you guys think of the G203 LIGHTSYNC by Logitech? Let us know down in the comments. If you've liked this video, hit that thumbs up, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You can check out our merchandise down below and make sure to check our website daily for tech news. I've been Andy, this is Kit Guru, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.